WrestlingPlus.com. WrestlingPlus.com presents Barry and John's Wrestling Spot. So sit down, open your ears, and most importantly, shut the hell up.
And what is going on, everybody? This is WrestlingPlus.com, and this is Barry and John's Wrestling Spot. Huge show. How is it going, John?
Yeah, Barry, it is. My heart is pounding. I'm still not over the 2020 Memorial Day Massacre Big Bang. Are you? How are you feeling? I'm titillated.
Yeah, my entrails are still tickling. Every hair on my body is gone. Yeah. I can't believe the massacre. It's definitely the biggest massacre. When they said Big Bang, I didn't realize, I'd wake up in all these layers of like filth. So, which I'm usually in only one. So. Yeah, huge.
Exactly. When they talked Big Bang, I thought about you and those ladies that you go out with, but that's a whole different podcast. So what I'm blown away by, besides the Big Bang, was the fact that here we are and the Big Bang is over, and
yes,
I feel like we're left in a crater, very very fitting. I feel like the wake field of this blast has just hit us, and the massacre has come and gone, just like another great season of RWF. It was excellent to me personally. I think that this was one of the best massacres I've ever seen.
Absolutely, and speaking of that, it felt like they really got their message across. I mean, it seems like they're burning the earth, they've scorched the earth, and it feels like the upcoming season 5. I haven't seen all the reports on what's going to happen in that season or what they got planned or who they're signing, but I feel like it's all starting anew, really. Like, it was like they were really trying to start over. I don't know what the owners got all up their sleeves, but it felt really good. I'll tell you that. And
it did. It felt like money, and that's what this investment corp. You know what? It's not. I'm starting to feel like RWF is making money again, and that's a win for all of us. That's a win for every guy on the roster. That's a win for everybody that they're looking to sign. That's a win for fans like us. That's a win for people out there in the world watching the product. Everyone wins, and that's great. I'm excited for that, Barry.
They're definitely making more money. I mean, the production value on this one was way up. I mean, they did what they could with the legacy of Carmel Park, and we can all
great
safely say that the budget was really down on that, even though it was their 20-year celebration. But it definitely seemed like they had some extra money. I don't know. I haven't looked at any reports on their financial gains. I don't even know if we have access to that. I mean, it's still. I mean, you say up and coming. It's kind of hard to say about RWF, but I mean, I think probably the Mask is leading them in ratings for sure and subscribers. I mean,
well, that's just stellar competition. I know stocks are up, but we need to discuss the action, Barry. Here's the thing. Do you want me to? I'm going to just go. I'm just going to go here, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to cover the night that we witnessed, and that night started with the typical White God Memorial Day Battle Royal, Barry.
That's right.
This is always a great part of the evening, and not everybody liked the White God. I know they I don't want to speak ill, but not everybody. He wasn't a fan favorite. He wasn't everyone's favorite. I mean, I don't want to say fan favorite, but he wasn't everyone's favorite. There was a lot of people that thought he was terrible. A lot of people that didn't quite care for him, and you know what? Some ties to some shady people in that White God, but that's in the past. This is a Memorial Day match for in his honor, and I don't want to besmirch the White God. But holy shit, these guys brought it in this match. You know what? Everybody on the roster in the ring, if anything, was a representation of a Big Bang. The epic proportions in the ring that during that match, just incredible. What do you think?
It was. I mean, let's cutting to the chase that we all know now. A guy. Get this. I know I was surprised. I'm sure you were. I don't know, but Rich Calloway really coming out and taking it. I never would have suspected.
Shocker. As they say on the TikToks and Snapchats, shock face, kids. Rich Calloway.
Yeah.
A guy that a year ago, I know you and I were like, who the hell's Rich Calloway?
Right.
I
Very relatively
thought,
unknown in the wrestling universe.
Yeah, I thought he had wandered backstage last year and was just hanging out. And a guy that has shown up. I wouldn't want to mess with him. I mean, and then he goes and takes the whole damn tournament there. The match. That's good on him. We haven't seen a lot from him. I think that could have been his real step up there. I'm interested in seeing where he goes.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I mean, it was a great match, and we know where it went after that match. Just to segue right into that, another match here, which was a tag team match between it was Murphy Pennyworth.
What? Do you want to call that a tag team match?
Yeah, I mean, the scheduled on the card, the card subject to change has never been more true since the last time Dave performed. But we went off and celebrated, leaving old Murphy alone against the likes of AKIV and Adam Bryan. Any thoughts on that, Rich? Celebrating a little bit too much.
You know what? I would say if I was in his shoes, I would celebrate as well. Winning that style match. Like I said, Rich Calloway, I think, is a top prospect this year. I'm so interested in his future. Why would he waste his time with Murphy Pennyworth? Granted, it's money, and it would be probably a pretty nice paycheck because I think I'll call a spade, a weasel, scoundrel, so someone like Murphy Pennyworth. Going up against two guys. I mean, have you literally seen the size of Alexander Kincaid and Adam Bryan? Juggernaut.
I mean, you got to give it to Murphy. He hired the right guy. I mean, Calloway.
He did.
There's a locker room that can even compare in size those. And I honestly, I don't know where their stats are. I don't know if you want to pull them up or whatever, but I mean, he's definitely going to be equal in size, damn near close.
Yeah, I mean I've been hearing him call him the Viking Behemoth. Murphy Pennyworth was smart to reach out to him. Murphy Pennyworth was not smart to piss off guys like Kincaid and Bryan. And you know what? I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed as a fan because I would have liked to see Calloway, Kincaid, and Bryan. I think that would have been a hell of a match. Maybe shortly here in the future, I would like to see it. Where do you think Pennyworth's going now? Besides the hospital.
We'll touch on Pennyworth again here in a little bit because we all know what happened after his match there.
Yeah.
But I have, my quick statement is it's anybody's guess. I mean, he is definitely an opportunist. So we will yet see. So what else was going on?
Absolutely.
With the massacre?
What else is going on? You know what? One of my favorite parts of the night, always one of my favorite parts of the night, because it's so exciting to see how this division is shaking up. Unbound Championship, Barry. Unbound Championship. That's just so exciting. Dax McAllister, Shimmy Shimmy Duke. Their first outing together, and I mean it's exciting. I hate how one-sided it was, but I mean it was an insult to anyone in that ring what Shimmy Shimmy Duke did that night. But I don't expect anything less from someone that is in the Players Club. I truly feel sorry for Dax McAllister, the former Unbound champ. I think Shimmy Shimmy Duke should be stripped of that title, but you know what? He did win it, so good on him. You know, I mean, they're not stripping him of it because he won it. So
it's hard to it's hard to strip an Unbound champion. And back to Dax real quick. I think we'll be the first people to report on this. We talked earlier in the week. I got a hold of him, and he is actually at least 6 months out.
Oh, at least
6 months.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what
that's
what the doctors are telling
by the end
him.
of the night, it looked like the man's career was over. So 6 months is bright side.
Yeah, it could be more. We're hoping to get back in. And honestly, I think what really did it was after the match, when Shimmy attacked him again. I mean, and there was just no call for that whatsoever. As you were saying, I mean, he had won the belt. What was the point? He attacked him before. He attacked him after. He takes the belt. And then we have the third Unbound champion in history. So...
Well, that's the thing with Shimmy Shimmy Duke. He's a calculating, methodical, almost like a surgeon. He you don't see a lot of movement from him. He goes in, he cuts deep, and he gets the job done. He gets the operation over, and he is a valuable weapon in the artillery of the Players Club. And it's just and sadly, that's not the surgeon that Dax McAllister is probably going to be needing now.
Yeah, and I mean, Carl definitely picked wisely when he picked up Shimmy Shimmy Duke, and whatever Carl's whispering in that guy's ear has really got him going. They don't call him the second generation psycho for nothing. I mean, the man is a terror. And I mean, you before we got on the air, you did also get a chance to talk with Dax as well, and do you have anything you're willing to share with us that he may be wanting to say about being attacked?
Well, I mean, I know from what we talked, he just seems very, I don't want to say broken, but he's sad, he's upset. This was Dax's first, this was his first championship. This was his first push, and now it's come to an abrupt halt, and it was done in a real shit show of a way, done by by Shimmy Shimmy Duke. And Dax was a guy, if you who doesn't like Dax McAllister? He's everybody's friend. And some people say you can't be everybody's friend, and I think he definitely has some enemies, and that's the thing. Dax is a good guy. Good guys aren't gonna last out there when you have such off-hinge people like Shimmy Shimmy Duke gunning for you, and I can't say it enough. We discussed second generation. This guy was bred to be a brutal tactician out there. Dax is a guy that has some pep in his step and wants to do good. I mean, it's no surprise to me that it went down the way it did. I hate to see it, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you just gotta when you got someone brutal like Duke who has no regard for anybody's safety, has no concern for anybody. But I would say the Players Club. But there's a part of me that feels like I don't think that man can feel and relate to people. So I'm not even sure if even the other guy, member Knuckles and Big Money can even trust the guy. But that's up to them. We'll see.
Well, I don't think anybody can trust any of them, personally.
Yeah, sure.
So, but you brought those guys up. Let's move on into the next topic of the night. That Army of Two championship match. The Players Club, Carl Big Money Streetwise, Knuckles McFadden versus them Buddy Boys. Them boys.
Yeah.
At it again. These these two teams have been going at it for the better half of a year now. Back and forth. Yeah. Trading some wins and losses, and how did those boys pull it off? How did they? It's insane to see how good they are in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, Devin had to finish it off after Ricky was eliminated. So they came closest to. I think this is the closest they came. If I can remember right, it's the closest they've come to losing the Army 2 championship titles. I don't know if it's showing any cracks in the team. I don't speculate it is.
It was questionable. But I think those guys are there's no I in team. I don't even know if those guys can spell team. Like it's they looked good. They looked good and they looked good looking good. It was the thing. How we talked about big guys on the roster. Let's not. Knuckles McFadden is no slouch. Strong, silent type. Carl is a raging sociopath. And like I say that from the comfort of this secure studio where we have security. But yeah, like it's no wonder that two guys like this would attract someone like Shimmy Shimmy Duke. This is why this stable, the Players Club, this team is frightening, and this is why they're getting stuff done. Tonight they didn't, and that's the thing. This might be a realignment here. They beat the Buddy Boys back at King of the Hill. They did not beat them at Double Action 2000, and now they lost again at the Massacre at Big Bang here. I don't think they should be allowed to compete for the titles again.
Certainly not. I mean, I hope they're not listening, but there's just no reason for it. I mean, they just can't. They didn't get it done in 2 championship matches against the Buddy Boys. I mean, come on. There's just no reason for the Players Club to have any interest or foothold in that Army 2 division whatsoever, in my opinion.
Well, I know they're looking to clean up all the gold, but that's the perfect segue here. They're not maybe they're not cut out for the Army of 2. They're an Army of 3, and that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother ball of wax. But I think there's plenty of other teams in Pride of the Mask or Super Rise V that deserve a shot at the Army of 2, at the Buddy Boys. I'm excited to see
Absolutely.
Where that title can go. It's already been proven the Buddy Boys can beat the Players Club. Let's see something else. I want to see something new.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's
speaking of something, yeah. Speaking of something new, wanting to see something new, having to see something old. I'm going to roll right into a topic we just covered recently here on the show. Chad the Shad versus Dave.
Yeah.
Something new from something old. Seeing two legends here in the RWF, and yes, Dave, I'm saying two legends, Chad the Shad and Dave. This was, once Dave graced us all with his presence, I don't know if you caught this, but I heard he didn't even stay for the rest of the evening. Chad the Shad, great guy. I don't know. I got to have a word with him in the back after the match, before the night wrapped. And, great guy. Humble. Not exactly soft-spoken. He had some things to say, but he was right. And it was everything that we had just talked about. Dave doesn't deserve the moniker of Dave. The way everyone shudders when they hear that name. It's fake. And I mean Chad looked great in that match.
Absolutely. I mean, Dave will always be Dave. Dave has a aura, a legacy. He's the living legend. Everybody wants a match with the guy. Good luck getting one, but everybody wants one. And I think Dave's good at what Dave does. Dave has built himself this castle, and everybody wants in to see what's going on. Everybody wants in to try to steal Dave's shine. His jewels inside there. And Chad the Shad didn't need. Let's look at it. Chad the Shad didn't need to go in there, infiltrate Dave, pin Dave in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, and he didn't need to. Chad is a legend in his own right. And it was an amazing, absolutely an amazing match. A true classic. I never thought we'd see it in 20 years. It was my favorite match of the evening, and it was my most anticipated match. And even though Dave lost, Dave took it to Chad. I mean, there's no doubt that a lot of people were saying, Dave might not have it in him, blah, 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 blah. They were anticipating him losing, but I don't think that they really thought that he was going to put up a fight against Chad. I mean, let's look at it. Chad's still a very active pro wrestler compared to Dave, who is truly part-time. So I think it was an amazing match. Dave really did a good job. I was really impressed. You know me. I mean, I'm a Dave fan. I am.
You are.
I've been a Dave fan for a long time. I've been a Chad the Shad fan a long time. I won immensely. That match alone left me covered in shame.
You bring up some good points, but I have a couple myself. So here's the thing: you say people want something new. We have to stay new to stay relevant, and that's the thing. Dave is still doing the same old tired thing, and he's irrelevant now. And you say you're a Dave fan. I was a Dave fan when I was a kid. I grew up. This is it's the same thing. And you say people want to knock on the castle gates and get in to have that match with Dave. Fine. I think people want to get in to see, is this guy overrated? Maybe I have some shine of my own. And I think that was what part of this was. Not for a second do I believe that Chad the Shad wanted to steal Dave's shine. I think Chad wanted people to see that he shines on his own. He's a bright and shining star out there in the RWF.
Well, I mean, I think that, Dave, personally, I think Dave still has it. I personally think that he's just as relevant as he was 20 years ago. I mean, let's just face it. Most of the promoters are still willing to pay him top dollar. Like, he isn't coming in. Anytime he comes in, he's getting top booking. I mean, that alone says a lot. The money says a lot. I think that Dave will always have a draw. I mean, and that's why he keeps getting that booking. Like, people want to see Dave. Do they want to see him because they want to see him get beat, or do they want to see Dave because they're fans. And when it comes to Green, it doesn't matter. He's bringing in the money, and when you put him in a match against Chad the Shad, I guarantee you a lot of the buy for this event was for this match. I was going to watch it anyway. I'm a sucker, right? But I'm there for that match.
You're not wrong. That match did have money printed all over it, and I'll buy that. But we're gonna have to agree to disagree on
Sure.
on the worth of Dave in this. But that's neither here nor there because we have other matches to discuss yet. And Chad the Shad versus Dave was your favorite match of the night. I want to talk about my favorite match of the night. Oh. The Baron of the Legendary Seven. This was a match. We talk about why you bought the event, why you paid for it, why they got your money. This was the match that I just opened my wallet to and dumped it out. But the thing was, I feel cheated.
Absolutely.
But I don't feel disappointed. Amazing Hazen challenging Mitchell Fatal, the Baron of Legendary 7 for the Baron of Legendary 7 gauntlet. Years, these two. The subtle nods, the back and forth, the looks, the shoulder bumps in the hallways, the attitude, the no interaction, when Amazing Hazen was gone, when Amazing Hazen was wrestling in Pride of the Mask, when Amazing Hazen was wrestling in Super Rise V. The hush, we were watching when these guys were out there in the ring before they even started locking up. The crowd was silent.
Yeah. The moment they got in the ring, the hush. I mean that's a story in its own. The hush that fell. On that crowd, and
I had to check the TV to see if it was. I thought my TV wasn't working.
Yeah, it was something special. It's something you don't often see, something like this, and I don't think we've seen anything like this, and I don't think we've seen a competitor like Mitchell Fatal have something like this since Chad the Shad, maybe. Before those two kind of patched things up and started working for the better good of RWF. It was an amazing thing to see. The match was just incredible. Both at the top of their prime, and there was a lot of discussion out there about Mitchell Fatal's condition. He said it himself. He wasn't, he's beat up. He didn't elaborate. Liam got no further information behind the scenes about the details of that. But, and Amazing Hazen was in his prime. So, it was still quite a
We've heard, and this is not anything against Amazing Hazen. We've heard and we've seen he's in his prime. He's the guy is, as the kids say, he's looking thick with two C's. And, then we look over and we hear Mitchell Fatal. He's tired. He's beat up. He does not look it. He doesn't look it. He looks great. I tend to think that was a ploy. I tend to think that was playing the lame duck act. Trying to maybe lure Amazing Hazen in. Thinking it's an easy win. How beat up could he really be? He's the Baron of the Legendary 7. You don't get a title by being a pushover. You don't get a title like that by being a pushover. Mitchell Fatal.
No,
if the guy would ever put a shirt on, we would, maybe it would be more believable. But he's jacked. The guy looks great, and he looked great in the ring. And these guys, both of them, beat the hell out of each other, and then had it all stolen away from them.
Yeah, absolutely. you want to talk about hushes? You want to talk about things being ruined? I mean,
Yeah.
the whole. I mean, let's face it, the biggest fiasco in RWF in, I mean, I'd like to say years, but RWF is known for fiascos. So, definitely the biggest fiasco of the night. Definitely the lowest point of the night. You know, Murphy coming down.
I thought it was a joke when Murphy Pennyworth came limping down to the ring. I thought he had already been taken to the hospital. He comes down with a neck brace on, and proceeds to climb in the ring, and just say he's going for his title shot, and starts to shove around the Amazing Hazen, who has been beaten down a little bit by Mitchell Fatal, and that's when I hate to say it, but the shitstorm of this match, which was like I said, what I gave my money to him for. The shitstorm of the match. Carl, Big Money Streetwise of the Players Club, comes down and does the same thing. Enacts his title shot and starts to attack Mitchell Fatal. You know, do you think? I'm gonna. You go ahead and tell me what your thoughts are, and then I have a question for you.
My thoughts was it was just these two guys, the two guys, only these two. Well, and maybe the other two members of the Player Club, but only these two. Murphy Pennyworth coming down. You know, nobody was surprised when Murphy came down. Maybe some people may have even speculated it. He had a opportunity for the Baron.
True.
And he tried to get it in the midst of the chaos. He thought, now's a good time. This is perfect. The Amazing Hazen is the perfect guy to beat Mitchell Fatal down enough for me to sneak in. But then Carter's coming down, Streetwise coming down to pick up the scraps, to lay it in hard on the rest of the guys, including Pennyworth. I mean, let's face it, the altercation between them in the ring as well was a nightmare on Pennyworth. But I mean, it's just sad.
To circle like a vulture. What I wanted to pick your brain on is, do you think Carl Big Money Streetwise would be the guy to take it easy in his Army of Two match to kind of save himself for this match?
I can't imagine that, because the guy is just clearly, they're out to terrorize. They're out to take as much championship titles as they can. I don't even think they care. They just want to take from others. They don't know. And these animals don't even know why. They just see somebody else with it and they want it. And I don't know. I mean, it's always a possibility, but when it comes to Streetwise, I just don't see that.
They are playing for keeps, it feels like. So, yeah, I mean, the amount of boos that rolled over the crowd when the ref had to raise Big Money's hand and then place that gauntlet on it for him, that was, and to see Knuckles McFadden and Shimmy Shimmy Duke, the Unbound champion, walking down the ring, and getting in the ring with old Carl, that was a disturbing sight. And to have such a monumental match as the rematch of Mitchell Fatal and Amazing Hazen, something like the legacy that follows the Baron Legendary 7.
Sad day for
to see those two
RWF.
guys.
Sad day for RWF. Streetwise having that belt or having that championship gauntlet. Just a bad day. I mean, I'm sure, Mitchell Fatal, unfortunately, at this point, is far as I know, there's no contractual obligation for a rematch. He doesn't have one. Who knows what's going to happen with that?
Who knows?
Somebody out there needs to step up and take that away from him as soon as possible. I'm really hoping. I did attempt to get a word with old Pennyworth, and a couple days later, he, after spitting on me, so thanks, Pennyworth. I know you're not listening, but yeah,
what a
he indicated that he was going to attempt to try to get, go after old Streetwise. So we'll see what happens with that.
Really?
I think, yeah, that's what I could gather from his.
I think Pennyworth still has a concussion there, because that would be stupid for him to even think about doing. This was just, taking the high point of the night for me and making it the low point of the evening for the RWF and its fans.
Well,
you want to talk about?
I was going to say, let's get into a high note here. Which was the main event?
Well, the highest of high notes, going out on a bang. The RWF European Championship match, the main event. Barry, I don't know where your thoughts lied in this Wildman Urban Jump. I was not a believer. I hate to say this, but I have not. Another reason why I was really looking forward to the Baron Legendary 7 match is because I really haven't had a lot of faith in the European Championship, not the title, but the champion, since the Amazing Hazen, and that's a long way back, and that's going, we don't talk about him here, but Zero, that ass clown Zero, and then Wildman, good job, he got it, but it's Wildman, like he does good, but I haven't seen much. Urban Jump, as the comedian once did, he told me a joke, and that joke was Urban Jump. I never saw much from the guy. He had some okay matches a few years back, but rough streak. And these last couple months, Wildman, I don't know if it's a different shade of face paint, but that guy has gotten darker. And then Urban Jump. I hate to get soft and emotional. I don't do that stuff, but this guy's really won me over.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's just, if you go back and look at Urban Jump just as a whole, I'm not 100% sure. If you would ask me, oh, hey, they just signed this guy for a four-year contract. Do you think this guy's going to last? Do you think he's going to stick around? Do you think he's going to fulfill the 4-year contract? Do you think he's going to become European champion? I'd have laughed at all those things. I mean, in my opinion, I was entertained by him, but I had no faith in him to ever go beyond just basically politicking. I didn't think it would lead to this. And, Wildman and Urban Jump, who knew the hatred and the animosity between both of them? I never would have thought. I would have never thought that this would end up being not only a championship match for the most prestigious belt in RWF, but it became a grudge match for the belt. It became a grudge match between character. I mean, we saw endless onslaught of Urban Jump attacking Wildman's character. Now, do I go along with everything Jump said? Absolutely not, because the Wildman, in my opinion, he was a very, very good European champion. I mean, I loved his run. I mean, there was some sort of one of his. I wish I could just soak it up all more. He had an amazing run, but Urban had his number, and there's no denying.
Yeah.
There's no denying that he had his number on that night.
I think the best things that we've seen from Wildman, and this is not putting the guy down. He just lost the title. I'm not kicking him while he's down. I'm not a fair weather fan. I think the best thing we've seen from Wildman was in the past few months going against Urban Jump. And vice versa. Urban Jump said it before. It's kind of a joke, and it's like, he's a guy like you hear the other guys in the locker room talking about him. Well, I'll do an interview, and you see these guys, they just shoot him glances like this ass, this idiot, and it's like, nice guy. I've met him. He handed me a button. Nice guy, but I think they brought out the best in each other.
Absolutely. I mean, this clearly. I mean, it's so funny, and I don't think you can often say this about somebody. But the highlight of Wildman's career, and this is not anything. This is going to be taken so oddly, but dude, the highlight of Wildman's career was this grudge with Urban Jump and losing the belt. And even though he lost at the end of the road, we all look back and just applaud the performance of Wildman in this feud with Urban Jump in this grudge match. I mean, it literally is the highlight of his run as European champion, and that is insane. I don't think there's ever been a circumstance where you could say that somebody's loss was their highlight, and that's not in any wrong way or besmirching Wildman. It was just that damn good, and I don't think anybody could have anticipated that.
It was damn good.
We can look at this card and we can say everybody bought it because of Dave. Everybody bought it. Dave versus Chad. RWF Incarnate, Mitchell Fatal versus the Revolver, Amazing. But at the end of the day, we look at this card. You can't not doubt that there's thousands and thousands of people out there that thought Wildman versus Urban Jump was the surprising, just peak of excellence for the Memorial Day Massacre.
Well, they don't call it the main event for nothing.
That's right, and the bookers knew it. Marks like myself may have not known it. I'm a Dave Mark, but they knew. They knew what was going on. They booked it appropriately. I mean, there's a reason why Wildman's was the European champion, and now there's a very good reason why Urban Jump is now the European champion. And Urban, if you're listening, I'd like to congratulate you, and I'd like to invite you on the show. Thank you
exactly. Let's get him in here.
Yeah, thank you.
Urban Jump. I mean, not to pat you on the back, but I think it would be good for your campaign, if that's still running, if you're still doing that, to be in here and have all the fans that listen to us to want to hear us talking about you, hear you talking with us. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, get your ass in here. We all know you're eating pizza alone, and I mean shit like that. But get in here, Urban.
Yeah, now Barry, I got two questions for you. I got two important questions about this match to wrap up this match. First one, what do you think of Urban Jump's perfect 2020 vision?
I think it's an amazing. I mean, you want to talk about a very, very inconspicuous planner. I mean, he has this 2020 vision, and it is a plan. Like you might not realize it, but this guy is calculating. It's very light. It's very lighthearted, but it is on the edge of deadly, and it got him to the European title. So the 2020 vision, I can't wait to see what else happens from here.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think he's finally got his head on straight. I think it's very exact, and I think it's what he needed. So good for him on that. My second question: where does Wildman go from here?
You know what? I have no idea. We can speculate, but it would just be speculation because at this point in time, I don't know. I didn't see anything about what might. I didn't hear any statements from Wildman. Nothing. I can only say that maybe. I'm sorry.
We didn't see him after the match. He left.
We didn't see him. Yeah, he gave no statements. He has not surfaced, if you will, yet. I can only imagine that a man like Wildman will refocus. He's been winning on a huge skyward winning for the last several years. I can only imagine he's going to regroup. He's going to reform that the Wild Army, whatever it is he might do. Maybe take some time off, come back, and continue to win again. Is the only thing I can speculate because he is that good.
Exactly. Let's not sell him short. The Wildman is one of the best in the world right now.
Absolutely.
He lost the title at the big. He lost the top title at the biggest event of the year. Not many people get there in their careers ever.
Absolutely.
He's still top tier. So, and that speaks volumes of the Wildman. That was one hell of a night. It started with a bang. It went out with a bang. I'm excited for season 5.
Yep, I am too. I cannot wait. It's going to be an exciting season. There's a lot going on. New 2020 vision with Urban Jump, European champion, leading the way. It is going to be the season to watch, and we'll see where Urban goes from here. I mean, his face is now the company. His vision is now the plot. His vision is the road. We'll see what happens with it. Again, congratulations.
They've already got my money.
Yep.
I'll say congratulations, Urban Jump. Congratulations, Carl, Big Money Streetwise. Congratulations, not Dax McAllister. Congratulations, Shimmy Duke. Dax McAllister, get well soon. All the and congratulations, Buddy Boys. Don't want to skip out on that. All the guys that hold titles here, just proving how important those titles are and why they strive for these. And the other guys that won matches this evening, Chad the Shad, AKIV and Adam Brine, the Beast of the Barge and the Full Tank. That was a great match. And can't forget good old Rich Calloway, the White God Battle Royal. Those guys winning, and truly, we the fans won.
That's right. Well,
so
John,
that's good.
We are approaching that hour.
Oh my goodness! We just get going and we're fresh out of time.
We're coming up on time. We had to fill in the sponsor gap here. But this has been Barry and John's Wrestling Spot.
Oh, hell yeah.
We will see you again.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys.